Hey guys, thank you for joining our channel. This is Ian and Shulam Zaza. We're so glad that you're listening to us right now. We had mentioned earlier that this channel is about marriage. This is friendship, marriage, dating, and everything in between. So basically, we're gonna be focusing on this season. So if you're in this season of your life, this is basically the place you wanna be. So we started something last week that we were talking about, and that's with regards to what do you do while waiting, or what were you doing while waiting in that single phase of your life? How were you preparing yourself for the person? What were you doing before the person? And basically that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, so basically for me, I was praying, and then I heard the voice, and God said, Ian, this is gonna be the one. God, that is not true. Basically, so what you do when you're waiting is very much important with regards to how your relationship is going to be. And so it is very important that you spend your time preparing for what is coming ahead of you. So what you do whilst you're waiting, as a guy, I think we do a number of things, and what we're going to give you is basically not the standards of what you are supposed to be doing, but maybe I'll tell you what I was doing whilst waiting. And trust me, I was at school, I was going to church, and I was doing every other sorts of things that I could do as a guy. But in preparation of a partner, I think I was trying to ensure that I become the right partner myself, and that is basically building my life in terms of how I understand what our relationships are about. What is the importance of relationship? And it had to take me sitting with people that are in relationships, hearing to my stories, to my manifestos. These guys will tell you of how you can actually hook up with a lady and whatnot. But all those particular things were preparing me to the time that I'll actually want to get into a relationship and the things that I'll basically get to do. So what you do whilst you're waiting is basically preparing yourself as a guy. I know we might read a lot of books that will tell us you need to ensure that you find a job, you need to put up a great manifesto or what, but I think all that is important is to develop yourself in terms of understanding friendships, understanding relationships, and also understanding marriage as well. Because the moment that you're gonna decide to get into a relationship, it's gonna entail that you are practically planning to stay together with this particular person. So that is why it is very important that the moment that you begin to prepare, you're also preparing what it entails for you to be in a marriage with this particular person. And the moment that you begin to ask God to give you that wisdom, that knowledge, you'll begin to receive that wisdom, of course, and maybe begin to use it in several other areas of your lives, and it will give you a proper base for you to actually get into a good, godly and loving relationship.
Yeah, well, I like that you touched a number of things, but I mean, for me what stood up was the aspect of you prepare yourself for the person. And I think, like, all in all, that's the major part, even for the girl side. If we look at the ladies, you don't want to become a responsible person when you are in a relationship. You don't want to become a person who looks nice when you are in a relationship. You don't want to manage finances when you are in a relationship. These are things you begin to learn even before the person. So in the previous post we had talked about how the Bible says he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. But who is this wife? It says he who finds a wife. You're a wife before you're found. And so in that preparation stage of before the person, that's the time that you become a wife. So what is this wife that we are talking about? And for me, when I think of this wife that they are talking about, that the person that you are before you are found is pretty much the Proverbs 31 woman. When we imagine that woman, we look at it as, it's a woman that has, been established, she's existed for years, she's an older woman. And usually when I'm talking to my mom, I like to refer to her as the Proverbs 31 woman. But it's something that you will not find probably our generation at this age group to talk about the Proverbs 31 woman, because we feel like it's far-fetched, like that's the woman you become after years of experience and whatnot. But I believe that you can be that woman before you're found. Yes, I'm not saying that it's the standard or it's what I was basically. No, I also had some hurdles. I mean, there's so much you want to do at this age, and especially before you're found. There's so much the real person, the realities of life you know, they come at you, and there are parts of you that want to try out so many things, and you're like, you know, I want to try out this, I want to try out drinking, I want to try out partying, I want to live my life before I'm found, I want to do all the things before I'm found. I mean, it's and especially in the church, we sometimes feel like when somebody gets into a marriage, as though it's bondage, as though you can't do anything fun, like you are locked in this space where now you have to just become this older person, like mwakula nomba, but I mean, it depends on how you look at that ukwangala, because I honestly, we've had a lot of fun married than I did even when I was single. We've traveled, we've experienced, we've done these adventurous things together. So marriage is supposed to be fun. You can still do all the fun things, you can still party, you can still enjoy yourself even in marriage. But what I'm talking about in that preparation stage is you learning you. Like, you find yourself. Who is Sheila? Who is Sheila before she was found? Before she's found, who is Sheila? She's a woman who is responsible. She's a woman who understands finances. She's a woman who is improving herself day and day. A woman who is ambitious. She's clean. She's elegant. You become that person before the person, such that when he finds me in that place where I'm already established. And the beauty, babe, about somebody finding you in that place where you have learned you is that it's not so easy for you to succumb to every level of anything that somebody brings you into. If I didn't learn who I am and he hasn't learned who he is, when we meet together, it's so easy for us to be tossed back and forth by anything we hear, because we don't know who we are. We can be anything. We hear that, okay, no, married people do this, pa, ukutuaya. No, married people do this, ukutuaya. No, in fact, when you're together, you do this. Everything we hear, we are trying out because we haven't learned who we are as people. But then when we learn our individual selves, when we come together, I'm bringing my strengths, he's bringing his strengths, together we are even stronger. But before I'm found, if I don't even know my strengths, he doesn't know his strength, it becomes very difficult to live together. It becomes difficult to be in a relationship, and that's why we have all these issues in the relationship. No, I don't understand why he does this. The other day he said this, now today he's saying this. Dude, he doesn't know himself as well. That's when he's learning himself. No, I don't know what's wrong with her. This day she's saying she wants to do this. The next day at our business style, journalism. No, the next thing she wants to go to the army. She hasn't learned who she is. So unless that's the way, yeah. You're just, whatever comes, you're just everywhere. But if you learn you, there's a certain stability that you have as a person. You know where you want to be with God. You know your purpose. You know your ambitions. You know where you want to be financially. So even when he comes and tell him, dude, you're coming into my life, except this is the goal that I have, these are the visions that I have, this is where I want to get to. And even he brings on his plate, is like, this is what I've dreamed. And when we bring those things together, we begin to see the alignment. So what are we saying today?
So basically, we're actually trying to give you not the standard, but our experience. And look, guys, we are not trying to talk about the perfect trajectory that has been set for friendships and relationships. No, it's basically our experiences. And you're gonna get into relationships where maybe things are not gonna be all right. And we're not saying that whilst you begin to prepare, we want you to prepare before your relationships, before any kind of engagement with regards to relationships. But once you begin to prepare, we're not saying that everything is gonna be perfect. Some of you might go into a relationship, break up and whatnot. We don't hope for that to happen, but what we are trying to say is that it happens, and it's possible that could happen, but that could be a learning curve for you, where you begin to learn and grasp the concepts with those regards. But there's a concept called vicarious experience. You don't necessarily have to experience something before you actually learn about it. You can see how other people are going through some certain things. You can learn from such pages like we are sharing right now. And so we want you to have beautiful relationships, and so this is why we are telling you about this, because we've experienced a number of relationships that have broken down because there was no preparation. So failing to prepare, they say, is preparing to fail, and we do not want you to prepare to fail. We want you to prosper in your relationship. So get into a mode of preparation. Prepare for your relationship, and we're not going to give you an age. For instance, say you need to prepare at 10, you need to prepare at 20. But preparation could be something that you even do for your lifetime. Okay, but at the moment that you're watching this video right now, start preparing. If you're watching this video and you're not yet into a relationship, or you're even in a relationship, please start preparing. So that is our message to you for us today, and that is what we want you to get and just grasp those particular concepts in ensuring that you get to prepare. We hope for a good relationship for you. We wish you good in everything that you are doing and everyone that you're going to engage in also.
So thank you for listening to us. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and hopefully you join us on the next video as well. Thank you. Bye.